Hi everybody, welcome back to Hannah's Decodes. I'm Hannah. Hope you've all had a good week and a bit. I posted a video of my lovely holiday down on the south coast of New South Wales, and it was so nice. It was just lovely. So lots of swimming, having fun, playing games on the beach, and eating, reading, sleeping. It was really nice, and sun, your beautiful weather. I think I said in the video the water temperature was fantastic, so it was really nice. So I've just got this, turn this down a little bit, see if that, oh no. Anyway, so I'm working out the light behind me. You can see the big circles in my eyes. Anyway, so that was great. But today I thought I would touch on something I've come across through a friend who posts interesting things on one of her social media sites. And it's called, and some of you may have heard of this because I think it's been around for quite a while. It's called the Telepathy Tapes by Kai Dickens. And it started with, I'm paraphrasing and giving you my take on it. It started with carers of autistic children, and these telepathy tapes, they call them autists and not autistic, because it's about communicating. I think that's why they call it that. And it's about carers of autists and their experience in communicating telepathically with these autist people, and they call them spellers as well, because some of them don't use telepathy. My understanding, they spell, but they do use telepathy, I think, because a lot of the time they can connect with you mentally and read your thoughts and stuff. So it's fascinating, really fascinating. So I was listening to one of the it's a podcast, and today I was listening to one, and I think it was episode 6, and they interviewed Kai Dickens, interviewed a man, and he shared his experience caring for his wife who had dementia, and just how he was having difficulties as dementia went on with moving. He was her carer, moving her body into cars and stuff like that, and it was really difficult. And he said he thought in his head while she was sleeping, I wish I could speak with you to find out how I could make this easier for both of us. And he heard in his head a reply, and she said, well, just talk to me. And he kind of went, whoa, okay, I will. So he was talking in his head to her consciousness. And so she showed him images and also talked to him about how it would be easiest to get her into a car and into the bathroom and all that kind of stuff. And each time it worked, and he was kind of like, this is amazing. And then the conversations went on to much more, apart from caring, other kind of topics of great interest. So that was fascinating. And another story was similar with consciousness and how, we just don't know. So, I mean, I know people, and I've worked with people with dementia, and to recognize and understand that even when their body has sort of deteriorated so greatly, there's still their essence and their soul there, and their consciousness, or their higher consciousness, is still functioning. And I think that's so important to be aware of, so that our thoughts are positive and encouraging and nurturing and caring, because they can pick it up. They can pick up our thoughts. So I thought that was just fascinating. And another interview was actually it was a story about a woman who moved into a new house with her family, her husband and 2 small children. And she started seeing a little girl playing with her little boys who were kind of, I don't know, 3 and 5 or something like that. And she understood this girl she was seeing her as part of her consciousness, but it seemed very physical, and her children could see this little girl, but her husband couldn't. So she knew something was going on, and I think she called a guy who sort of deals with this stuff, who has connections with Kai Dickens, and they kind of started working out what was going on. And somehow they found a photo of this little girl that I think may have been in an attic or somewhere. And they went to a neighbor and said, do you know anything about this little girl? And, who is she and what's going on? And the neighbor said, I do know this little girl. This is my sister, and she lives upstairs, and she's chronically ill and has a carer. And they were like, whoa, what's going on? This is amazing. And she met the woman, and the woman said to the woman who was ill said to the woman who was seeing the little girl, I see you in my dreams. I go back to my old house when I was a little girl. And she said to this woman who now owns the house, you look so much like my mother. It's sort of uncanny. And so the brother got photos out of the mother, and they could have been twins. It was kind of really uncanny. So anyway, so that put the whole kind of visions or that connection of consciousness, that put it all into perspective. So I just found this fascinating. I just thought, wow, this is kind of, I think our understanding of consciousness is just going to kind of expand and explode, and it'll just be really interesting. And I just think, because a lot of these teachers and carers of autistic kids are having these kind of experiences more and more, where they can hear the thoughts of these autists and communicate with them really fluidly and stuff. And even though they look like they can't communicate, they're highly intelligent and really very wise. So it's fascinating. And I don't know if I mentioned last time that a lot of these autists meet on a place they call the Hill, and that's where they come together, these sort of children and who are autists, and they share their knowledge, they talk and communicate, and sometimes people who aren't autists or who are carers can come and sit on the hill too, or I don't know if you sit, but you're there consciously, and tune in and listen and chat to the people on the hill. So I just thought that was amazing. So I'm up to episode 6, I think, of these podcasts, and I think they go up to episode 10, and then it goes into series 2, I think. So it's on YouTube, but I'll put a link in my description. I think that's where I put the link, or comments, and hopefully you guys can see it and follow it on YouTube, because I think it's on YouTube. But I thought today, we've been doing the mudras with the hands signs. So I'm just going to randomly pick one out, a bit like so I've done those before, I think. Okay, so why don't I maybe I should shuffle them. So it's some kind of oracle deck. Just mix them all up and choose one, and we'll do one, and we'll just do a little bit of breathing with it and see what you get with it. But yeah, so I'm just loving all this stuff about consciousness. It's so fascinating. Okay, Hannah, choose a card, any card. Curiosity, that's sort of fitting for today. Whoa, that's kind of an interesting hand position as well. burst the chains, curiosity. So I'll show you that. Oh, it's a bit glary. Okay, so that's quite an interesting hand position. It's called a liver mudra, and this is something I think everyone needs because all our organs and our body are just working so hard to clean all the stuff that is in our food and air and water out. So good to do for our bodies. And interesting about the curiosity. And there's some nice clovers there, and I think I can see a 4-leaf clover as well. Okay, this mudra fortifies the liver and the vegetative nervous systems, helps one to compose oneself and awakens anticipation. It is not always easy to contemplate the future with equanimity and simple curiosity. On the other hand, what other choice do we have, as we cannot know what the future holds for us? Anticipation and curiosity are good for the liver, help to revive one's spirits and stimulate the production of feel-good hormones. So you can use your imagination to picture the future as you would like it to be. Picture what makes you satisfied and happy, and then be curious as a kitten waiting for a little and big miracles every day. And so they have the little mantra down the bottom, and it's, I am a child of the sun, I accept the shadows and enjoy the sunny side of life. I think that's so nice. So that's really nice. And I love that it's good for the liver, it's about curiosity, and it's about, what's it called? I can't think of the name. You're picturing your future and what's it called? Manifesting. I think that's what I'm looking for. Manifesting. Okay, so I'm going to do this hand sign here. So the middle finger goes down and the thumb touches the ring finger, and then the pinky and the pointer go up in the air. So just take your time. If you need to pause, do that. So it's good for the liver and curiosity. So I think the point, yeah, that's sort of touching the points of the fingers. Okay. So just taking a gentle breath down to the bottom of your tummy. Breathing out gently. And I'm going to do the quantum breath, my version of it anyway, and imagine there's a beautiful ball of light that's sort of silvery gold at the bottom of your feet and one above, just above the top of your head. Take 4 gentle breaths from that ball at the bottom of your feet up to the top of your head, and then down to your kind of belly button, your middle area, and just feel that energy come out from your middle. And that's probably going to be nice for the liver too. Okay, just pause there if you'd like to continue on with the meditation. So that's the finger pose. Yeah, I found, what was the feeling? Kind of like a little bit of pressure down in that sort of liver area. And I got I got a big message to say maybe after the video have a drink of water, maybe with a little bit of salt, as Barbara O'Neill says, on your finger, and just put it on the tip of your tongue or under your tongue to dissolve and then drink it, or maybe a glass of water with a little bit of a wedge of lemon or something in it, just to hydrate and clean the liver a little bit. Yep, so I think that's it. I think the next week I will probably do another video about what I've learnt with the telepathy tapes again, unless something else comes up, who knows. And I'm really finding the mudras really interesting, and it's nice to have these tools to heal ourselves on so many levels. And I love that this one was about curiosity, the liver, and manifesting. That's the word I was after, manifesting. Okay guys, hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time. And if you'd like to, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.